Brood kind of taking over the map. So yeah, they're going to look to play fast and definitely have to play fast versus this lineup. Not to say, though, that... nothing to say. Not to say that PSG.LGD can't play fast and match also. Right. They're 4 heroes, the CM, the Mirana, the Brew, and the Ember. They can match the aggression pretty well, while Spectre just kind of exists in that bottom lane. So I don't know, I kind of like the way LGD set themselves up this time around a little bit. But a little early on that one. There you go.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, tip him out. His own teammate. Dude, Felix is so spicy. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's like, that was a free kill, man. If I was on SF, I had that, but he's messing around. All right, well, they won't get the kill, but a good aggressive play to just kind of start their dominance. I like that.
Yeah, that was really nice. I think the one of the things that like is a good sign going into this is having that sense of humor on nights to have like a little thing like that pop up and just give them a tip, make fun of them a little bit, right? Like break the tension a little bit. They're on the verge of 2-0ing LGD here.
Yeah, they're definitely in high spirits. They've been looking, honestly, they've been the most impressive team for me because they're the ones that I didn't have that much, I didn't really know too much how well they would look. LGD, we all were like, yeah, they're probably going to be pretty good, but we all were like, they're not going to be as good as last season. So yeah, Knights has been the most impressive team for me. And Ego has continued to shine. Not those races, of course, but throughout most of these games, he's been incredibly impressive. So let's see how this is all going to kick off, because we do have some similarities, of course, from last time. We have this Brewmaster versus Tree versus Puck. So same thing still stands on the Dispels that we talked about. Can have this huge impact with it. And easier forms of rotation, it feels like this time. Last time, this Hoodwink Enchantress, tough to make all these like, successful moves all the times, especially if your lanes aren't great. CM Mirana are always going to be able to have an impact, always going to be able to do something, even if the lane does go poor.
Well, and likewise, they also are very capable of getting picked off and bullied by Alacrity, depending upon what that positioning looks like and how the rest of them are covering each other. So definitely set to be a high-octane game. Not that many long cooldowns that either team really has to play around. We're sort of Requiem, there's the Brew ult, obviously, is one of the big ones. But it's going to be interesting to watch how they try and play around that, if they can bait that Brew ulti. John, you obviously had a pretty good time last game. We'll see if he can replicate that again and maybe find a little bit more success.
They also have a really cool function on the side of Knights, is the Coil plus Requiem. Yeah. The fear into breaking the coil to start initiations as well, too. So good look to always want to be able to keep that on your eyes there. As bottom, this should be this is the one thing about this Spectre pick. It's a pretty free lane. He's playing versus 2 melees with a CM at his back. Shiro should have the dream. So to set up a Spectre like that is usually a pretty good sign.
Well, and this is the big question that I have, is that it feels that there's this proliferation constantly of ranged carries getting picked in the safe lane that just become this like unstoppable monster. And we're seeing a similar type of thing here with the Shadow Fiend for Ego. But one of the other answers that's occasionally looked good has been a Spectre getting on top of them and then trying to also pick off those supports. So I want to see if they can actually make this style of gameplay work with the Spectre getting onto that Shadow Fiend.
It does. It looks pretty damn good, because they have that. They have the natural item build that he can build. I think Kezu was the one touching on it. You just go your Manta, you go your usual items, and we saw Skeeter do the fun like Manta Hex Ags kind of build. Right. Look at that versus like a hero like Puck, right? That could be absolutely just spectacular to crush him down. So, and looking at the Puck, we didn't touch too much on that mid matchup, but we've seen this one before in the past quite a lot. The Ember always has a good one. Felix.
He's taking a good chunk of damage there and forced out of the lane for a second. Didn't have any points up in Desolate, but just the combo of the CM and Spectre and throwing that dagger, it's kind of annoying to play against.
Yeah, and YU Smile's just gone for the farm build. He doesn't really care about getting too many kills down here, as we saw pointed out there by our beautiful observer. The Arcane Aura at level 2. Could have maybe had a kill there if they didn't have that, but I don't think that's not the purpose of this lane. This lane is farm Spectre. Sure, if we get some kills, fantastic, but...
Yeah, free time to get whatever he needs, and of course uses that Frost Nova as well to get some damage onto that range creep, but he's in trouble now. And Flyby, Felix Chalba, move on in, give him a hug, and Flyby, the one that draws first blood. Dangerous place to be against the Brood.
Yep, stepped up too far to use that nuke. If he still has the Nova when they make the go on him there, then perhaps he can survive, because he slows the attack speed versus the tag team. But had already used it, gets punished. Good move by Knights.
So far, very even across every lane. There's only a couple of CS separating the two of them. YU Smile does move on in and get a bottle refill for nothing to say. So that part's pretty nice, and able to actually bait out the phase shift there as well. Thought about he was going to go for a sleight of fist or something.
He's kind of bullying this lane. It's 16-3, but it's 18-5, nothing to say. we've seen this matchup a lot. Puck versus Ember. In the game, Puck is very good, but in the lane, Ember usually ends up being able to bully the Puck a little bit because of that physical.
You can see that reflected in the CS slightly.
Yeah. Felix is making the move over. I like this because he needs to help. They're actually looks like they're sending both supports, perhaps.
Oh, interesting. Shard's not quite going to block him off. Wants to get in range for that rune, but he's not going to be there.
He gets it.
Oh, he did.
Felix takes it away.
Dude, what? How did he get him? That range was way too big.
And now the tag team.
And the chase. Nothing to say. Dude, think of how different that could be. And they're not even going to get the courier kill here. Planet forced to use the leap charge away. And picks up the bounty rune. So nothing to say. No bottle refill. No bounty rune anywhere on the map. I think he's going to need to get another refill from somebody or something.
He just might. Yeah, that's painful. I mean, it's a great move. I love that that Knights identifies that, right? They're like, okay, you know, they just filled the bottle of Ember. Alacrity's into some trouble. We have to help him out.
Oh, and Felix, he stuck around a bit longer. The tag team, the Shards, very well played. Wow. And Alacrity gets the kill. Knights just doing a quicker job rotating in their supports to help.
Felix just on fire. 0-0-2, but those two rotations are super impactful. The way he sets up for the CM and the way he just lingers. They did not expect it at all. I thought he'd left as well. I was starting to look at bottom.
Oh, and that's big too now because CM's taking over the mid role. He can actually TP back bottom or top if he wants to and make maybe some more aggressive plays happen. He's very free right now as we get closer to the 6-minute runes. And of course, with Brood down there.
He's pushing away Shiro.
Dude, Knights, are they going to 2-0 LGD? Can you imagine?
It's early to say, but no, it's looking pretty good. I like this build too. He's got a little bit of a different one that we see usually on the Brood. I think most of the time we see the Arcane Boots, but an early Falcon Blade, and then he's going to go into the Arcane so he can play around his insatiable hunger. And if the CM's not there, Shiro can't lane. And look, Felix, he's just around mid lane again already. He already puts the ward down. I think he's recognizing perhaps that the puck's going to hit 6 first, so it could look to just make that heads-up move again onto nothing to say.
Doesn't want to draw any XP away from him, though. So instead heads off towards bottom a little bit here. There is still a Mirana skulking in the area, and it looks like they're going to try and get lucky as the courier is brought down. And where is it? To Hasterin up top.
Alacrity not going to be able to get that one, but we'll get the 6 from mid. But now that there's going to be a Hasterin on the Ember Spirit, probably can't actually set up for the kill.
Really fortuitous there for him.
Look at Flyby is being
super
annoying.
I mean, this is pretty rough for a Spectre. You're getting zoned completely off the wave, like almost out of XP range right now.
Yeah, I thought he'd be able to get that much better farm, but with them forcing the rotations from the CM, it's actually very impactful.
Yeah, Shiro, I mean, he's not getting any help right now. Nope. Felix is moving in, and in fact, if Shiro's not careful, he could die. So no help for the Spectre. Going to have to play catch-up in some other avenue.
And Brood's almost 6 already. Who are they going to send to deal with the Brood? You know, usually you see some type of hero like a god, like, you know, your Mars, your Legions, etc., something that has this constant great clear versus the Spiders. They kind of need 2 heroes to occupy down here to be able to clear out Spiders.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because we've seen a lot of Broods picked in that first phase, but you were mentioning during the draft, they got it 4th.
They did. Yeah, I don't know if LGD saw it coming. Flyby. Arcane Boots now done as well, so the spam, it's going to be constant as he's about to hit level 6 as well.
We'll have to watch and see if LGD can hold on. But already things getting a little bit scary. Just going to spam a couple of abilities out there onto Shiro. Make his life miserable. Oh, dude, are they going?
They want to keep applying the pressure here. Another nuke going to be thrown out probably from Flyby. He's going to use it on the creep to build it up. And now rotation's coming.
This would be big for him. And in fact, the Brew is there. They have the Cinder Brew. Tries to blow him up. This is the rotation that they needed. So Flyby will get punished for his over-aggressive play. And actually, to get the lift on the Tusk, too. Felix Chauba, he's in trouble. Has a snowball. Gets onto the Brewling, but the chase, the hurl boulder, in some trouble. And they will be able to bring him down.
Big move. Saw the same exact rotation from the Brewmaster last game. Does the exact same thing as... Oh, Yarrow!
Needs to get out of there, though. Coil drops everything. Remnant, chase. Didn't connect onto him, I guess. And now, nothing to say. Trying to find the kill to get it.
Yeah, I guess he only gets the coil onto the Miranda there. I didn't quite... Maybe he did. I didn't quite get to see immediately if he did. That's big.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it's important, though. Just waiting for a second. Looks like they were looking for perhaps a dive. And a super aggressive one is PSG.LGD's draft, we're talking about how they like delay and they want to set up for this farm for Spectre. It's, you know, when it's even footing 10 minutes, I think that PSG.LGD would be very happy with this type of game when they're playing versus this Brood 4th pick.
Yeah. And now getting that time to sort of catch back up on the spec. We'll see if they make another big move. But yeah, good decision-making by the side of LGD to head on down here and stop Flyby from just completely snowballing away. With that
need
said,
help, though, on the Brew. They need 2 heroes to deal with these spiders. Brew alone cannot clap them away. Flyby.
He doesn't have a split either, so
he's bullying.
The 17 stick charges, he's going to try and stay alive as long as possible, but the Haunt immediately turned. Dude, they were baiting that out for so long. What the heck? Dude, LGD were so prepared.
Yeah. It looked good for Flyby, but then bam. They have to commit a lot, right? It's 4 heroes that do have to rotate for it, but well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's super interesting is that there's like one very clear threat on the side of Knights, and LGD are just putting complete emphasis on trying to shut down that Brood because he's one of the main heroes that makes all this engine run.
Yeah. Does mean all the space in the world, right? Invading jungle, not going to happen. Ego's now fully jungling, which means the tree, XCJ, he's going to occupy top, get some really good levels, level 3 armor already. So it's good moves from LGD, but it's not like Knights isn't happy either. They're like, oh, cool. Our SF's just getting free farm under no pressure.
Dodge gets the invis. Do they have anything to see him?
3-man coil.
And the turn, Why You Smile, goes down. Felix still very tanky. Is eventually going to get ran down here. But it ends up being a trade of 1 apiece. Unless Snowball, dodge? No, can't get it. Thought maybe he could get a deny there. Well, 5-3, back and forth, and LGD making the right moves.
They get the glyph off, and Alacrity, he did use the orb. Can't quite go for the dive there, PSG.LGD, but are going to look for this tower push.
Have the arrow ready in case they catch him for too long here.
They've got the slight. They have the point and chains now also. Nothing to say. Picked it up now at level 8.
1K gold lead as they still farm continuously on this Shadow Fiend away in the jungle, but losing this tower would really hurt. Tree Armor doing what it can to try and keep it alive, but LGD do not appear interested in backing out from this. But with the movement in now, having Tree in the area, Ego making his move, they have the overgrowth. The Requiem afterwards connects, brings down that Ember, and just like that, well, Knights can bring everybody too.
And the tower's not dead, and they have a tree, so it's going to get healed at level 3 armor, and that little movements, right, that economy shift where you have SF jungling and tree top, he gets 6 very early, not even using the tome, because they gave the tome to Felix.
Now they can start to put some pressure on too. The previous dives from Flyby, he didn't have backup. This time the whole team's here.
Yep.
Why You Smile in trouble. Felix there, gets the hit, trying to bring him down, finds the kill. Now, Felix still taking a lot of damage with Planet nearby, and with everybody respawning, it does look like they're going to be able to force back Knights on LGD.
He's happy, though. Bruce split to kill a Tusk. I'm sure he's like, all right, but now they will be able to turn and get the tower. It will be finally finished off. Arrow.
Yeah, no more glyph there. And same timing as the Blade Mail actually comes out for the spec.
I'm still very impressed with the way the Knights are making these moves happen. As 2K lead here for the start, and applying a good amount of pressure, building themselves a decent advantage versus that Spectre. It needs to continue growing. They can't really take their pedal off of that, or take their foot off the pedal at all in this one. They have to keep trying to apply that pressure onto Spectre, and look to play around this Brewmaster cooldown. So 100 seconds, see where Felix looks to go, because he seems to be that dictator of aggression.
And indeed, it's going to be down bottom. They've got the spiders. Obviously, they don't get the tag team damage, but can still start to bring down the good old Brewmaster. Why You Smile tries to stop him. XCJ right on top. And another spider jump and gets the kill. And Coil.
Another one.
All right, they find themselves the CM. Why You Smile tries to get out of there, but it won't happen. He even uses Overgrowth. That was a little bit excessive, but still, they get a couple kills down bottom.
Yeah, the AoE isn't that massive. I mean, it's pretty big, but doesn't quite get him. 3K lead. Just playing at that fast pace, identifying that Bruce split was down, realizing that they can look to play more aggressive versus this LGD draft.
How much can they get? That's really the question for me. Can they really try and shut down the farm of Shiro, keep him forced out of the jungle and wherever it is he wants to be getting that farm on?
So far, so good. They're doing a great job. They've gotten majority of damage onto the mid tower. They got that bottom tower, and SF, Ego having a really good time.
Yeah, has the Mask of Madness, Dragonlance with the Falcon Blade, Wraith. Like, this is just all straight up right-click blow-up damage.
Yeah.
And queuing up the BKB. We're after it. Now, does look like Tusk going to be left behind. Does he have a way to break it? No. So Felix draws the ire of a couple, gets out.
Felix is a menace. He really has been. He's been part of 7 of 8 of those kills for his team. Just always seems to be the one that is. Yeah, he's playing versus Zhao 8, the director, but he's the one directing the game. It's been really nice moves. Now Bruce split though back up, a little bit more reluctant. It looks like on the side of Knights to try to pressure here, and Flyby trying to get some information with some spiders.
Yeah, I think going for a solo kill on Brew down bottom is not going to happen, really.
Ooh, he broke the smoke there with that waning rift forward, and now an instant smoke. They want to try to shut down Shiro.
Okay.
It's going to be a fight here, though, it looks.
Why you smile? They break smoke, I think. No, not quite. Now they see him. Requiem of Souls comes out. The arrow is going to connect. But with the snowball and then the chase forward, that's going to keep him alive and fine. Wants to turn now, do what damage he can, but no BKB.
Ego.
Way too much damage. Ego going to fall. Can they get anything off the back of Alacrity here? Doesn't look like it. XCJ goes down. They kill Felix. And showing the power of just popping a bunch of oldies.
Yeah. Showing up with the numbers. We see the instant dispel on the trio. I think it lasted for like a quarter of a second. You see how little damage it did there, even though it caught 3 heroes. Quick dispel, and they just blow everything up and get onto Ego. This is the blink reveal from the Brewmaster. Just gets right on top of those targets.
And as we can see here, a really good decision after they go in to, you know, pop Requiem, try and counterplay the fight, but in the end it was just way too much, and without BKB, Ego is very fragile.
Yeah, and it's, I didn't even see the DD Ember as well was there with I believe right before he has Maelstrom finished up. But yeah, they get on top of that SF, and now seeing that gold lead that they did build up, it was 2K, but they needed a little bit more versus Spectre. PSG.LGD, Shiro, soon to be at the top of the board.
And this is very much feeling like their comfort zone at this point. Yeah. And for Knights, how do they want to try and play this out? Do they need to group together, or are we going to see them just try and farm up until they get into that next set of items?
Feels like they probably do just have to wait until that next set of items, but that's not the way that their draft is kind of built to play. They have to play faster, or they're just going to get outscaled, out-team fought from this Brewmaster plus Spectre. So let's see where they look to make of it with next, because you know, a couple more of these fights where things go south, that Spectre's just going to dominate this game. Trying
to find some kills here onto these supports. They get down a ward, find him in the trees, and Planet gonna get ran down and killed. So Felix finds that kill. While you smile, gets away. But yeah, very much, you know, the support kills going back and forth doesn't feel like it matters nearly as much as when those big team fights happen and the cores are going down.
Knight's draft just feels like it has to play with like so many less mistakes. Like they have to just play a lot cleaner, where PSG.LGD's drafts feels like they can actually make a couple of these slip-ups and they'll have that backup of the Spectre core always to be able to rely on. So Knights has to be a very clean game for them to be able to take this one. With only a 1K lead at 17 minutes versus a Spectre draft, got to be a bit careful with how they play around it. But they do have overwhelming team fight. They just have to be careful how they play into that Brew, as he can kind of dissuade most of that team fight.
I'm wondering if we might even see that one get banned out early. I mean, obviously there's a ton of different heroes that you need to take out of the pool, but he has really looked quite strong. Even in that last game, he was like the centerpiece of the draft in so many ways. And, well, they find themselves another quick pick-off here.
Felix, 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 every time. He's always the part to start that gank, him and Alacrity.
Making the good moves for their team. Has nothing to say, is getting towards his BKB. Brew a little under halfway to an Aghanim Scepter. But Phileas picked up now. One on the tree.
That'd be nice. He's going to Blink Dagger really early on.
Oh, Shiro. They want to go and do anything pushing this tower. Looks like as soon as he spots there, yeah, Alacrity just jumps away. Very strange next couple of minutes here, it feels like, where it's Knights just wanting to go but not being able to, really.
Having to wait for Ego's BKB.
Yeah.
I think they really recognize that they will close the gap onto him with the Ember, with Brew, with Spectre, so he needs a separate form of protection. Triult is not going to help because of that Dispel from Brew.
Yeah, and having the Guardian Greaves now done on Broodmother, too, if they take those fights all on the same page, it feels like there could be something there that's quite strong. Kezu was talking about that timing in the draft.
Yep, all playing together here. Ego getting closer and closer to BKB. They're just playing between, like just between exactly where they kind of figure where LGD is and where their SF is. Just trying everything to protect that timing.
So I know that you were talking about how, like, obviously as PSG.LGD, you feel very strong with the Spectre lineup, doing what you need, but you also have to recognize that when this BKB comes out, Knights are going to be very strong. Is there any thought to them, like, wanting to go in and fight right now? It feels like, you know, there could have been a nice timing here before that came out.
No, I don't. I think when you have like the Spectre, you're always just, you can kind of hang back and wait for the aggressive plays to come to you, and then you can just counteract them fully.
Okay.
Until you get like these specific timings. If you feel like there is a big timing, which might be maybe the Manta for Spectre, which I think he actually does have.
Okay.
Maybe they actually could look to it. Level 2 Bruce split as well. So actually, you know what? Maybe they could just look to go for that fight, even into that BKB.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on if they can force it as Ego. Still doesn't quite have it.
Getting closer to the pipe on flyby. So these couple of really big team fight items from Knights, as they are starting to build back up and nurse a lead. Need to be careful though. Alacrity throws out the orb. The tower goes down. Arrow trying to hunt, but can't get onto that pesky puck. So he gets away. And the rest of LGD will just go back to farming again, trying to get those item timings for themselves.
Why? How confident he's playing on the screen.
He's not concerned.
He was alone versus the puck.
Yeah,
okay,
crazy.
There we go. I was going to say, Alacrity.
Felix, Ego right on top. Snowball is there, but he's rooted. The fear comes out. That forces back the rest of them, but they will kill off the Tusk. So Requiem Soul's down. And with Tusk in the grave, but Alacrity just jumps in, finds him. Wants to bring down and kill that Brewmaster, and in fact, they do it. They spot plant it there. Gets the jump away with the leap. Moonlight Shadow. But are they going to just go into Roche now?
Feels like they do have a window.
This is big for him.
30 seconds. There is constant poke, of course, from that Ember. And there is no coil available, so they just have to kind of full commit into it here. PSG.LGD, how do they do this? They have a haste.
Get that blink done now on the tree, too. So without the brew there to dispel it, could be a death sentence for him.
This is scary. I don't know. I think this is too scary now for Knights. The constant poke from Ember is starting to build up.
Yeah, we'll see if they, I mean, again, it feels like this is their moment where they have to take a fight, but it needs to be that perfect fight.
Yeah. They're being very disciplined, though. I mean, again, continuing to build a 3K lead. Not getting too over-aggressive. Felt like they might want to, but nope, they feel confident in their SF, who now he's going to be going back for Hurricane Pikes, and then eventually that Silver Edge will come out for Spectre, too. So they will have that break.
I feel like, again, against a team like LGD...
Planet.
Oh, whoa,
Oh,
he
whoa.
leaps the wrong way. Just gets caught in no man's land.
I think they just got onto him too fast. It looks like he was like prepping the range creep to Starstorm, and then just they are immediately on him.
Flyby walks up high ground now. They go back into the pit again.
All these kills matter.
This is big, and down bottom, the Ember isn't there to go for the slight spam. He comes back to mid lane now, but this is already going to be going down here. Ego, he gets bashed. They're moving in closer, but it's going to be too late.
Oh, how does he get that?
Shiro, you god!
Wait, even Felix was prepared, even pre-snowball.
Are you kidding me? And now Ego in trouble, gets lifted up. Knights can't believe what just happened. Dude, that was the best Aegis snatch I have seen. He had vision with the dagger, but made it happen. Right onto Ego now, trying to run away from this. The arrow, it connects. Doesn't have Requiem, and they're going to kill off Flyby. What an insane play.
Felix, he did it right. Felix is covering all of his bases, too. He snowballed to prep for the stun onto the Roche as it's dying, and Shiro still is able to... That's a game-winning play right there.
That's a game winner. That is the player, and we've seen him come out really impressively.
I mean, look, watch Felix. Like, he did it all right. They're even scouting. Alacrity's like, yo, they might be coming on left. Look, snowball. Like, he's literally stunned as he gets... That was insane. Like, come on. He's the next Ame.
He's the next Ame. You heard it here first. Jeez.
That was spectacular. And again, we see the Bruce. Every time there's a Trioled, it's immediately gone. They get the arrow connection also onto the Broodmother right afterwards. And now, all this time that Knights has been playing so clean, so perfect, one little thing, not even a mistake it feels like, just a clutch play from LGD has blown the game open.
It was the definition of an outplay.
Yeah.
Like, Knights knew what they needed to do to stop it, and they just couldn't.
Yeah.
Shiro was better. Unreal.
And now the itemization, we see Shiro. He's going all in for the counter BKB. He's got the Basher, so he's going to be able to stick on top of the Shadow Fiend. Not to say that Knights is out of the game by any means. It's still only like, they still have a gold lead, but into the Spectre, into the Ember, it feels a lot harder now for them to even slow down this Spectre when he has this Aegis.
And just mentality-wise, what that does to you as a team too, right? You got to imagine is brutal. I was thinking about this like when we were talking about the series. I feel like Knights could 2-0 and win this. After winning the game, though, I don't know if they could come back and take it again afterwards, right? Like,
Ooh, bottom, Alacrity.
Oh, is he going to go for him?
Pushing it.
All in. Alacrity's pissed. He wants to find that kill and get out of there. Does look like he's going to be safe.
Look how much he got out of that one.
That's big.
He gets like almost, like, I think almost 2 levels or something like that. Like, holy crap. 1,600 experience. That's pretty massive.
Damn, dude. Oh, gotta love Dota. You know, you wake up, you see, all right, we got some good games going on today, and then you just get your socks blown off by a cool play like that.
Yeah, this one, I think most people, like the panel was saying, like LGD definitely coming in as the favorites, but Knights proving the haters wrong a little bit.
Yeah.
Still, though, they still have to, you know, go through the Spectres. Oh, nothing to say. Jumps
it all.
the
damage. It looks like they do. Kill him off.
And he BKB'd.
Yo. All right, things starting to tilt back the other way, maybe resting on their laurels. Knights, I mean, this is the great thing to do, right? Because they're still so strong. They know this is their timing. They have to make that play. I just saw the spell kill all of those brute spiders, too.
Yeah, he's got the Ags now, so it doesn't have to commit split to clear them out. Lift. They're going in. They've got Aegis.
Do what they can. Haunt, Chase, wants to get a kill. XCJ in some trouble. No overgrowth available, but does have a blink. So with Haunt down now, Felix going to be the one that's left behind. But that was Haunt used. That was Bruce Split used.
They're still committing, though. Ego.
Can they do anything here? They've got the lead seed, keeping him alive on Ego. Turns to fight onto Shiro. That's Blade Mail out. But Requiem of Souls with the coil. Do they break it? He actually breaks it on the Brew regardless. Didn't even get caught by the fear. And LGD, they lose a couple more heroes in spite of the Shiro. Great play. Oh, they got him. Right on top. Nothing to say. Back in form. They're going to chase down XCJ Flyby, doing what he can. Alacrity jumps back in. Shiro down low. They don't want to kill it, though, because of the Aegis. Trying to leave him alive for the last second, as he does manage to get the jump out with nothing to say. Shiro back alive with Alacrity and Flyby. Can they do it just themselves? Doesn't look like it.
It's a bit too tanky. Felix, though, looking for nothing to say. Alacrity's there. BKB 5 seconds.
Dude, Felix has been all over this game. What the hell? This guy's having a performance of a lifetime.
Wow. I mean, him and Alacrity,
Dude, look at him. He's cracking up. Alacrity is loving it.
They should look at how well they're playing around all this, too. Like, into the Spectre, who has this Aegis, that symphony of them being able to disengage perfectly, playing around the sidelines. This Puck and Brood, this Tusk also. Huge thorn in the side for LGD, and nothing to say. That's back-to-back deaths. He comes in, dies, uses BKB, comes in, doesn't have BKB up, and dies again.
I mean, this is the thing, too. Like, we were sort of thinking about this game in the context. Well, hold on. Felix Charbel going to go lift it up. Do they try and cover him, though?
Arrow.
Oh, just a little off the mark. Snowball over to the creep. And, yeah, he's going to have to be left behind. But I think that we were thinking about this game in the context that if it gets late, Spectre just wins. And we're seeing that Knights still have some fire in the tank right now. Like, it's really impressive to be able to come back after that loss of the Aegis and just make these types of plays like this.
Yeah, still continuing to scale really nicely. I mean, look at Alacrity, right? Level 18, he's got Kaya Sanj Witchblade on his way to Octarine. He's going to be a menace versus the limited amount of disables. I'm checking to see if they have anyone's got like a Hex or something queued up. Not the case. It's a Butterfly queued up next for Shiro. So pretty different style build that we saw in comparison to what Skeeter's done, who I feel like most of the time he goes for Ags +1 to be able to join into the fight. So this one, it's more about just directly counteracting the Shadow Fiend on Shiro.
Yeah, wanting to have somebody that can stand toe-to-toe against that SF, which does, like you said, leave the window open for Alacrity to have the game of his lifetime here.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can make that happen. Still 17-20, 2K gold lead for Knights.
Staying super close.
Jumps in, does what he can onto Ember.
Wants to force the BKB. He wants to force it.
And he does finally have to pop it, but the root, the overgrowth, the punches. Dude, nothing to say. He held it for so long and barely gets out of there. Oh, jeez.
I mean, Alacrity's keeping him on his toes constantly.
Oh, yeah.
That is 2 ults expended. So let's see if now, in the next few moments, LGD looks to punish that by any means. They do have Bruce Split. They have Spectre Hunt. So nothing to say is going to heal. But BKB on cooldown for nothing to say makes it really difficult for him to get anything off inside of those fights. We do see Ego, though, for a second here.
Wow, and look at that, 67%. And this maybe speaks to why we're not seeing those moves around the map as much from LGD. They just feel like they're going to be able to do it.
Oh, Ego, he showed.
Yeah,
Broke his Shadow Blade. They're thinking about it.
Yeah, Felix still in the area, though. Yeah. Hard to make that move in.
Oh, an instant ward was placed down. Was already spotted. Ward on the high ground here from the side of Knights. All the backing up and getting together. Coil back up in 15. Triult a little bit longer, but they look like they're going to be confident perhaps to go for a fight.
Getting that Titan Sliver now for the SF. Actually, it keeps the Paladin Sword in for now.
Yeah, I think for this one, I prefer that.
Well, flyby. The one running forward has the spiders out there. Why you smile, the first to get caught. They want to chase down and get the kill. Nothing to say. Throws out the Glyph here. Shiro runs away immediately. They want to fight this now. The Bruce Split's already out, and, well, XCJ is dead. Does have buyback on that tree. Ego controlled for the moment. Has to back out with that BKB going. A good coil, and then looking for the turn. The Requiem.
Shiro.
And now Shiro just dies. Ego getting brought down by nothing to say. Felix Chauba control now on a planet. And Why You Smile getting a pretty good CM ulti, but with 2 already dead, maybe they can find a little bit more of a follow-up here. LGD get the fight they need.
This time, Nothing to Say is the one able to shine. They commit pretty much everything onto the Spectre, and he's able to get some type of cleanup. 5,000 damage done in the fight. Oh, and find a DD right afterwards. These fights are crazy chaotic, though. It looks like you can go either way at any moment. I think the CM ult, as you mentioned there, kind of pushed Alacrity away toward the end there. Otherwise, perhaps maybe he can clean up, but...
Yeah, recognizing a really good job, Y, of making sure that he sort of counting the disables and then can finally pop it. But yeah, you can see here, for a moment, everything was looking good, but Alacrity came in, gets the coil onto both of those, and Nothing to Say this time, just has that BKB ready to go.
Yeah, he full commits onto there.
Yeah, you can see
Look
Alacrity.
at that. It was so close. Honestly, it was very close for the CM to perhaps get that one. Alacrity. Yeah, if he's healthier, maybe they can go back in, but yeah, big moves. Kind of a evil and trade, but Alacrity, he's top net worth now in this puck.
Dude, I'm telling you, Southeast Asian pucks, they're a menace to deal with, and going for the Dagon next.
I'm still waiting to see if I see a Hex queued. Okay, NTS is queued it up. I think he's starting to... He's like... And on the opposing side, of course, we do see that Brood. But I think more importantly on PSG.LGD, they need something to deal with this puck at some points. He's starting to get away with too much. And he's starting to queue up those Dagons, as we've seen from the old pucks. When puck, before puck got nerfed, and we were seeing puck in every single game. This was the build we were seeing.
Ego comes on in, wants to kill off that Panda, and in fact is going to be able to do it. So that one back on cooldown for a little while. AC is the item choice for Jian Yu. With the Dagon completed now on puck level 1. We'll see if he keeps leveling that one up or not. Still very even in this game, and we've been able to wait it out long enough that this next round of Roche is going to be coming up again. 50 seconds until it's going to respawn.
So impressed with the way that Knights is able to keep this like constant at like that 4K, keep themselves being able to fight, because it did feel like, you know, the Spectre is going to be able to dominate pretty early on after having that Aegis steal, but they're making them really work for it. PSG.LGD, it's not a clear path for them to close this game out or anything like that with the Spectre going toward late game. Knights is scaling.
Yeah, and particularly you start thinking about Puck and what that hero can do later on. Queuing up right now a Lincoln Sphere. But, you know, this could be a... What's the brooch again?
Yep, eventually.
It could be pretty huge for him. A lot of different answers.
And there's a big one. The Silver Edge is now done for Ego. As he hits level 20, so he's got that big plus 60 damage from the talent, and he's got Silver Edge for break, and for, of course, built-in crits.
Dude, they wait right as Roche is going to respawn. It respawns right in front of them.
Oh, they're going to kill it fast.
Dude, the rest of them, they're coming in. LGD is nearby. Nothing to say. Throws the Remnant out. They're going to have another haunt ready to go. And Knights, recognizing that danger, they back away. Don't want a repeat of what happened last time.
No, sitting in the pit is scary, too. That Fire Remnant doing the damage. The Slights constantly spamming, doing the damage, too.
That was one of those moments where everything could be gone.
Yep.
Particularly if LGD just happened to be on the other side of the map. That was a relatively quick respawn.
They're always in the right place at the right time, still, even though they are getting outmaneuvered a little bit still this game. They're looking great and always knowing that that is going to happen. And as you said, the Brewmaster, not only the AC's done, but level 18. So a lot easier access and tankier Brewlings as well, too. So he can just commit these onto the SF, not having to worry about them getting killed off or anything like that because of that armor.
Big wraparound here from LGD.
See what they find.
Knights, They have decent vision in this area. One ward up on the high ground. And the Spider's going out there. We'll see if they spot it.
Oh, Ego.
Nothing to say. He's the one forward. The Hex reveal. Sir, you can't be here anymore. Can they kill him off? Yes. Ember gone. LGD, they're in a heck of a lot of trouble. They do get the brew split off, but now the control, Alacrity on top of another. Shiro tries to get out of there. Do they have a way to break his TP? No. So Shiro able to escape, but the rest of LGD in a world of hurt, and none more than nothing to say.
Wow. Again and again, Knights just continue to impress with the way they take these fights. Brew split is down. Can they get the catch onto him as well? There's the Hex again.
Unreal. Big plays, good moves, and flyby with the perfect itemization.
Yeah, wow. I didn't even see that it had gotten just delivered at that moment, and it's perfect timing for them to get the catch. Nothing to say. He gets his BKB up, but dies immediately right afterwards.
Look at that damage done as well by Alacrity in that fight. He's having an amazing game. And you look now, this DD rune down bottom. I mean, we'll take a look at this again. Nothing to say, just far forward and didn't know about the Hex.
They're so confident of their position, and then boom, everybody layers everything perfect. Look at Felix, how careful he is with the punch too, waiting for the perfect time to synergize with it. Yeah, you couldn't ask for more from Knights here.
Thinking about that, like, timing, how different it could have been if this Hex had been finished by Nothing to Say instead. I mean, it probably still would have died there, but regardless, that one really hurts. And Knights, all of a sudden, 10K gold lead, looking to try and get the huge upset in 2-0 LGD here.
Definitely looking more and more possible, even though they're versus that Spectre. They've got the answers. This is unreal.
We take a look at the graphs in this one, at least, and how it's been going. You look at that drop-off there after that last fight. It is all looking Knights right now, still showing the power that Spectre could have, that 40%, but scary stuff.
Scary stuff indeed. Forcing a Spectre to go for BKB. That always tells a tale right on its own. He's literally getting coiled and then Requiem feared and gets killed off during it. So that does need some type of preventative measure.
And you can see Nothing to Say, recognizing what sort of caused some of that, is going to go back for the Shivas now. Only 17 armor.
Okay.
And of course, when the SF's right on top of him, it's a lot less than that.
Yeah, that's scary now, because then Alacrity, he's got all the possibilities in the world. I think maybe they also saw that he got the Lincolns, so they're like, all right, this, even when I get the Hex, it's not going to be as effective, so just wants to be a little bit more survivable. Yeah, Knights, they're shaking LGD up completely.
This has been really impressive to watch. They have the gem on flyby. Knights in the smoke, and now find Shiro. Oh, he gets out of there just barely. Deep. Show for a second on mid, maybe. Do they want to dive this tier 2 here? It's kind of crazy.
They have a DD on Ego. He is hitting ridiculously hard right now.
I think it's about to wear off, though, in a second. He's still got a little bit of time left over.
They see Shiro.
And they get him. Oh, the DD was wearing off, but it came too late. The damage is there. Alacrity gets the last hit, but SF is big, large, in charge. Maybe going to kill him off, too.
Oh, my God.
Didn't get a chance to do a thing. That's with the talent. Alacrity jumps in, finds more, flyby right on top, has the gem. Knights are going to completely disrupt LGD.
I think they've done it.
And take a dominant advantage in this.
It's 70 seconds. That's going to be at least a Rax that they can go for here. It's literally at the tail ends of the DD. They find the perfect catch, the Hex. Knights.
Dude, this team, I mean, nobody expected this one to come on in here and make this happen, but showing why, you know, in game 1, they gave up the Lina. In this one, they had a clear idea of what they wanted to accomplish around this Brood, around this SF. And they're looking perfect.
And this is with them losing that Aegis early on. Imagine they'd gotten the first Aegis, how much more dominant this would be.
Dude,
tier
4s.
They're going to end this.
Knights wanting to end this game right now. They find the Hex. There's on to Nothing to Say. He's in trouble.
He's
going
dead.
to die. No buyback for him. And Knights, eyes on the prize, smiles abound for all this team as they're going to end this game off and finish it in a 2-0.
I am so impressed. They call GG. Holy crap. I mean, yeah. Wow. Even though they lose the Aegis, they're so confident in their plays with the way they're moving around the map. I am so impressed actually with Knights, like no words.
I mean, and again, like we saw these players, we looked at them at the beginning. I think that, you know, the name not really that well known.